Hey there, Dina here. This week I'm sharing what I ate to stay well nourished and maintain my energy for a busy work week and active lifestyle. Keeping it simple and well balanced, because who has time for anything complicated? Not me. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel where I share these kinds of videos and easy vegan recipes. Let's get started. Good Monday morning, everyone. I have already been up and had my coffee and done my morning yoga practice. Very basic, very simple, and I'm just putting together my pre-workout. I like to head to the gym before work, so it's about 5 a.m. and I just have a little bit of water here with some BCAA powder, a pinch of salt, and a banana, and this will be my pre-workout. I can't really handle anything too much on my stomach before working out in the morning, so this works out really great for me. And after my workout, I'll be taking along these yogurt parfaits, which I have meal prepped. Super delicious, so easy to make, and perfect post-workout. I made it to work and I have already eaten half of my breakfast here. It's so good, and I'm just putting up my snacks. I have my rise mushroom latte here. It's just got cocoa powder, some mushroom powder, and some soy milk, and a little bit of cinnamon, and put my lunch in here. I'll show you this a little bit later. I have an apple, and I'm pretty sure I had 2 cuties, but I believe one of them has rolled out of my lunch bag somewhere, probably in the car. I'll have to check that out. So unfortunately, this happened inside of my lunch today. Not good. So fortunately, I was able to save a couple pieces of tofu and the lentil spinach wrap. However, my lettuce and cream cheese were no good in the broken glass. So I'm just sitting outside, enjoying the sunshine, getting some vitamin D, having a little lunch break. And I did have my snacks this afternoon, but after a really busy work day, I was finishing up editing for the video for my banana bread crackers, and I started snacking on these, and I could not stop. So this ended up being my dinner, some raw banana bread flax crackers with chocolate hummus. So delicious. I highly recommend checking out that video. I will link it in the description box below. Good Tuesday morning. I have my coffee and my water. I've already been up and I have drank a little bit of water. I've done a little bit of yoga. So I'm ready to just have a little bit of coffee and maybe a banana or something before I go to the gym. And this morning, pre-workout, I'm going to snack on my banana. I'm going to take a couple of cuties in with my lunch, which I already have packed. And I normally don't show this, but I just wanted to show that I also supplement with liquid B vitamin complex. These are just drops you place under your tongue. Important to get your B12 in. And this morning I'm adding some electrolytes to my water because I had a little bit of cramping yesterday. Maybe not enough sodium and potassium. So I like this brand. It's called Salt, S-A-L-T-T. There are other ones out there, Liquid IV, Element, lots of good brands out there, but I tried a variety pack of this brand, and I am pretty happy with all of the flavors. They have a really amazing caramel flavor and chocolate salt flavor that are both really good hot in the afternoon. Element also has a chocolate one that's really good. So I'm going to enjoy this salty sweet snack, and I'll see you at breakfast time. Let's see what we got in our goodie bag here. I've got my mushroom latte, got some soup for lunch, some of my banana crackers, three cuties, got a little chai tea there. I've got my breakfast, again, cherry chia jam, yogurt, cherries, and granola. And I brought some of my chocolate hummus for my oranges and crackers, and that'll be really good. So I'm going to enjoy this real quick before work. I had a really good workout. I did a zone 2 run today and a little bit of kettlebell for upper body. So feeling great, and this is going to be super yummy. Not quite ready for lunch yet, but I needed a snack. So I'm having my banana bread crackers, my chocolate hummus, and some cuties. Who else is a fan of orange and chocolate? Such a good combo. And for lunch today, I have some leftover vegetable soup. I know it's a little brown looking. It is leftover, but it has some sweet potatoes, it has peas, chickpeas, bell pepper, quinoa, barley, rice, tomatoes, a little bit of carrot, celery, and onion. Very good, very nourishing soup that I meal prepped. Oh, and chickpeas, which are looking a little bit gray. This is not the best looking thing, but it is tasty. So tonight, after my long, busy workday, I am having a super simple sheet pan meal of just some potato wedges, a frozen black bean burger, and some frozen broccoli. Sheet pan meals are just such a go-to for me. So easy. Just throw everything on the pan, put it in the oven at 400 degrees, and make a yummy sauce, and you are perfect. So this meal in total probably took about 20-25 minutes. And here I'm just making a super easy buffalo style sauce out of some homemade vegan cream cheese. Use whatever kind of cream cheese or mayo that you like. I have about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast and some really yummy hot sauce that I made myself. Use your favorite brand here. And I'll just blend this up and it makes a really yummy buffalo style sauce. And I just enjoyed this with one of my favorite kombuchas. If you are not on the bandwagon with kombucha yet, please do so. It is so tasty, so good for your microbiome, and it's available pretty much everywhere now. And this ended up being one of my favorite meals of the week. Good Wednesday morning. I have the morning off this morning. And I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of a chill morning, have a cup of coffee, and then think about going for a run and getting some things done around the house and in the yard. It has been a very busy last few months, so I have a lot of catching up on things to do. I'm just putting a pinch of salt in my coffee, just because I need a little bit of electrolytes, and I want to add some electrolytes to my water later after my run. So it's time for breakfast, and I felt like something hot because it is a chilly spring morning out there. You know, I keep waiting for it to warm up, and again, it was in the low 40s this morning. I don't know about everybody else, I am just ready for some warm sunshine weather, especially in the mornings. So what I'm having, I have just heated up here some of my meal prepped. It's quinoa, barley, and brown rice. It makes such a good combo, and you can have it all kinds of ways. Today I'm going to have it like porridge, and I'm just going to add a scoop of protein powder in here, which is optional. You could just use a little maple syrup or
something like that, just to sweeten it if you like your porridge sweet. And I'm adding a little bit of soy milk. I'm just going to give this a mix. And to the top of this, I'm just going to add a little bit of sliced almonds for some healthy fats. Get in there, guys. And I have just mixed here some frozen blueberries and maple syrup. Going to add that on there. This is going to be so yummy. Nice, hot, sweet breakfast. And I think I'll put a few hemp seeds on there, a little bit more healthy fat and protein, because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, the protein is important. It is, especially if you're trying to build or keep muscle. And I'm just putting a little cinnamon on top there. And I will go sit down and enjoy this, and I will see you at lunchtime. So I've been busy outside most of the day. I have snacked on a few cuties and some trail mix, which I didn't show. I've just kind of snacked throughout the day. It's a little after 6 o'clock, and I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and have some dinner. I did get really hungry. So I was going to go to the store today, but then I decided I have, you know, all this random, like, not so great looking produce stuff in the refrigerator that really needs used up. So I decided to make a salad. I have some kale, some icebergs, some cabbage. In the freezer I have some edamame. I have this avocado. We're gonna check out and see how he looks. Feels pretty ripe. And some green onion. And in the air fryer, I just have a little bit of tofu going with some mushroom umami seasoning and some nutritional yeast. This is the mushroom seasoning I use. It's delicious and I highly recommend. I'll leave a link down below if anybody's interested in checking that out. I really love it on a lot of different things. So I'm just going to chop up the salad here for Mr. Tony and I. And I'm going to see what kind of yummy sauce I can make to go on here. All right, let's check out our avocado here. Let's check him out. Oops. Perfect. Perfect. Don't you just love it when you get a perfect avocado? So happy. Makes my day. How yummy does this big giant bowl of greens look? Oh, perfect. And I have just, oh, and that one I broke. I have just seasoned my tofu pretty simply with some barbecue seasoning, mushroom powder, and nutritional yeast. It's a great combo and it tastes amazing no matter what kind of sauce you put on the salad. And I'm just going to add a few pumpkin seeds for some crunch. Oh, this is going to be so good. Okay, that looks absolutely delicious. Let me see what kind of sauce I can whip up real quick for this beauty. For my dressing for my beautiful salad here, I decided to go with a yogurt base, and I just have in my little bowl here a little bit of unsweetened plain coconut yogurt. You could use vegan mayo or silken tofu. And for seasoning, I have some freeze-dried dill, some tarragon, and some salt. Pretty simple, but this might be simple, but let me tell you, it's delicious. Just a quick kind of dill ranch style dressing and nutritional yeast. And you know, I'm not really, never have been, don't kill me, I have never been a fan of ranch, especially the stuff in the bottle. I just don't like it too much, never have. So I'm just going to give this a quick stir, and it's a nice thick dressing, so I'll top my salad with it let's see, I might add a little bit of water to this. And you could add a little bit of spicy mustard in here if you like. A little bit of apple cider vinegar would be good. I'm just keeping it really simple. Just going to dress my salad. And I'll mix this around a little bit and then I'll put the rest on if I see that it needs it. And how good does that look? So yummy. I can't wait to dig into this. Breakfast this morning is going to be a quick smoothie. I'm on my way to the gym and I had my little bit of protein powder in my coffee. I can't handle working out on a full stomach, so I'm going to make a smoothie to take with me. This is just my frozen kale that was going a little bit a little bit yellow in the refrigerator. I decided to put it in the freezer and save it for smoothies, which is a good tip. Like if you have kale or greens that are just starting to go a little bit past their point of where you want to eat them fresh, go ahead and pop them right in the freezer and they work out great for your smoothies, for your green smoothies. So I just have my almond milk in there and my frozen kale. I'm adding some frozen mango and I'm just keeping this pretty simple. And I just want to have it ready for me right when I come out of the gym. I've got some errands to run after I finish my workout. So I want to have something ready to go so I'm not like absolutely starving. And I'm just going to add a scoop of protein powder. And that's it. Pretty simple, straightforward. It'll be perfect for a post-workout. While I get my errands run. I still have a lot to do on this day off too. I have 2 days off in a row and I feel like I've been let out of prison. I just feel like, you know, after having such a busy work schedule all winter and for the early part of the spring, I just feel like there's so much to get done. But I feel like just a sense of freedom here. So I'm having a little bit of a lazy day, but I'm gonna bring this with me, go to the gym, run my errands, and I'll catch up with you at lunchtime. So officially out of the gym, I got a good 5-mile run in and a good leg workout, important. And I'm just going to enjoy my nice, beautiful green smoothie. I kept it cold in my lunch bag with a little ice pack. There goes my bag of tea. Little ice pack, and I'm going to run some errands and then get on with the rest of my day. It's a beautiful spring day today. Errands accomplished, and I am rewarding myself with a little favorite sweet carbonated treat. Oh, I love these things. I can't get enough. So it has gotten a little late in the day today. I did snack on a banana and a few nuts, but I thought it was about time for a proper afternoon snack. So I have a rice cake. Just skipping lunch again today for snacks. I kind of eat that way when I'm home and I have a lot of stuff to do. Just keeping it realistic. So I have my chocolate hummus here, which is amazing, by the way. I highly recommend. I have a couple of cuties, and I'm just going to top my, oh, that was a lot. Top my rice cake here with some hemp seeds for some added protein and healthy fats. And I'm going to have a little sit on the front porch and enjoy my afternoon snack and get a few more things done before it's dinner time. Wow, what a busy day. So I thought some pasta sounded really good tonight. It's a quick, easy weeknight meal. If Mr. Tony doesn't want to have it with me, then he can just have whatever he wants to cook. And I can eat the leftovers for lunch tomorrow. So I'm just starting with some TVP. So into my hot pan here, I'm just adding about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, a little bit more umami flavor. And I'm just going to cook this down until it's like turns from a bright red to like a dark brick red in my little trusty iron skillet here. I love cooking with an iron skillet. If you did not know, not only is it super easy to clean and care for, despite what people will tell you, all you have to do is clean it right after you use it, season it, and it's perfect every time. I love it for that. This one's well seasoned, so it's pretty non-stick. That I love. But also, if you didn't know, when you cook in an iron skillet, it also imparts iron into whatever you're cooking in it. So ladies and gentlemen, but mostly ladies, especially if you are of childbearing age, and you know, if you're vegan or vegetarian, even meat eaters, ladies, iron is super important, and a lot of us don't get enough. And something so simple like using an iron skillet to cook your food can make a difference. So that's why I have always loved using one. Plus, that's what my mom cooked in. That's what I learned how to cook in. Pretty much everything she made was made in one giant pot or an iron skillet. So this is starting to brown up on the bottom. That's looking good. I'm just going to go in with my TVP now and cook that down, and you can see it soaked up all of that water. And I'm just going to give this a quick taste. Nothing wrong with eating it uncooked. Just make sure the salt level is where I like it. So I'm just going to cook this down just a little bit. Next, I'm going in with my sun-dried tomatoes. I have like 4 or 5 chopped sun-dried tomatoes there. And I'm going to add a little bit more salt. Season it how you like it. I did work outside all day. I went for a run this morning. I worked outside all afternoon. I sweat really bad. It was warm outside. I am a major sweater, so I need some extra electrolytes, so I'm gonna salt this really well tonight. If you don't like that much salt, use the amount of salt that you think is appropriate, or leave it out. And a good amount of black pepper, because I think any tomato-based pasta sauce needs a lot of black pepper. And I'm going in with 1 can of crushed tomatoes. This is pretty simple. Can't get easier than this. And I'm going in with a good bit of basil. I was looking at the grocery store for fresh basil today, and they had none. So I'm going in with about 1.5 tablespoons, which is a lot of basil. But this basil has been in the pantry quite a while. It's a little old. The flavor is, you know, not as pungent as it once was. So I think you could probably get away with about just 1 tablespoon, but I'm putting a little bit extra in mine. It is tomato basil pasta after all. And I can't wait for my basil to come in the garden. It hasn't been quite warm enough yet for the basil, but I'm hoping soon. I'm hoping soon it will be. So I'm just going to let this heat up, and when it starts to bubble, I'll turn it back down and add my silken tofu. I have about 1 cup of silken tofu here, just to make it nice and creamy and rich. And I have about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. And after I have added the tofu and the nutritional yeast and heated that through and mixed it in well, I'm just adding my hot pasta. I used a high protein pasta here, which was really good. I love this one. There's a few different brands out there, and there's also some that are made from red lentil and chickpeas, which are also really tasty. But I was just using what I had on hand this day, and this came out really delicious. So after I mixed it all the way through. I just topped it with a little bit more nutritional yeast and some fresh parsley, and it was absolutely delicious. Good Friday morning. So it's back to work and back to the gym for me this morning. So I'm just showing you what I'm packing in my lunch bag for today. I'm making my mushroom latte, which is just soy milk, a scoop of vanilla protein powder, a teaspoon of my mushroom powder, and some cinnamon. And this makes a great afternoon pick-me-up, caffeine-free, so that I don't stay up at night and get some of that really good deep sleep that we all need. If I have caffeine in the afternoon, I can forget about it. So this really works out great for me. And for breakfast after the gym, I have some overnight oats with chia seeds, almond butter, apples, and granola. So delicious. A very, very good combo. Mr. Tony loves this one too. What's left of my chocolate hummus, I'm going to bring for some fruit, and my leftover pasta from last night, which was so delicious. So for dinner tonight, I'm making a veggie pack fried rice. Before I start chopping my veggies for my fried rice, I wanted to get some tofu marinating for the top. And I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of random things in here to make a sauce. So I have some hoisin sauce, and after my tofu marinates in my sauce, I will use that sauce on my stir fry also. So I have a little bit of hoisin for some sweetness. I have some vegan fish sauce. I think I got this at a local grocery store called Publix. It's by Ocean's Halo. I really like this product, and I really love their sheets of nori, which are delicious also. So I'm going to go in with a couple tablespoons of that. And I have a little bit of rice wine vinegar, and I'll go in with about 2 tablespoons of that as well. And I have also some Japanese barbecue sauce. I really like this brand. We got this at Costco. All of the flavors are super delicious, but this one is Yuzu citrus barbecue sauce, which sounded really good today. I also have their sweet and spicy and their miso and their original sauce. And I'll go in with about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3. I don't know, that's probably about 3 tablespoons of that. And I'm also going to use a little bit of toasted sesame oil. Just a few drops, just for the flavor. I don't want to overload this with oil. So that was probably about a quarter teaspoon or so. And I also have for seasoning about a tablespoon of mushroom powder and a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, half a teaspoon of ginger and red pepper flakes for some spice. And we don't need to add any salt to this. This is salty enough between the fish sauce and the hoisin and the barbecue sauce. It will be plenty salty enough. So I'm just going to mix this around until all my spices are combined. And then I'll add my tofu, which I have just half a block of cubed tofu. I'm gonna let this marinate while I chop my veggies. You could also just chop this up in the morning before work and leave it in the fridge during the day, and it will be ready for you by the time you get home and want to cook dinner. You could let it marinate all day or overnight if you like. But this is just a basic kind of sauce. Put whatever you like in your sauce. You could also just go with some hoisin or teriyaki sauce, whatever you like. But this one turns out pretty good, just like this. It's sweet, spicy, salty, and a little bit sour, so it hits all those notes, and I really like it like that. And for my veggies, let me show you what I have. I just kind of need to use up what's in the refrigerator. I have half a red onion, a couple green onions, some multicolored little sweet bell peppers, and some mushrooms. And I'll be adding to my rice mix some frozen cauliflower and some already shelled frozen edamame. I love this stuff. It's so convenient, and it is great for all kinds of things. Salads, stir fries, you name it. It's great. All right, my veggies are chopped, and for my tofu, I'm just adding it straight into the air fryer. And if you would like, you could drain it and give it a coating of some cornstarch or breadcrumbs or something like that if you wanted it really crunchy and crispy. I just want a nice, quick, simple, delicious meal. And this definitely works. It will kind of crisp up around the edges in the air fryer without any coating, because there is a little bit of sugar in the barbecue sauce. So it won't get like super crunchy or crispy, but it definitely will be delicious, and that's good for me. And I do coat it sometimes, but not every time I do like a takeout style tofu. So this is just going to go into the air fryer for about 12 minutes, and it will be nice and crispy on the outside and nice and chewy on the inside. Just a really nice texture. So I've got my well-seasoned trusty iron skillet here, and we are about ready to go. I've already thawed my cauliflower rice and my edamame, and I put a cover on my hair because I already washed my hair today, and I don't want it to smell like cooked onions. So a nice scarf on the head, that works. And I'm going to go in first with my red onion and my mushroom, just to get those going and get those cooked up a little bit. And I like nice big chunks of vegetables in my stir fry, especially the mushrooms. These are baby portobellos or cremini mushrooms, and I like to leave them in pretty good, like 1-inch chunks. Same thing with the onion. And I'm just going to let those sweat down a little bit. There's no need to add any oil. If it starts to stick, you could add a little bit of water. But generally, mushrooms release water when they cook, so it's usually not a problem. They usually don't stick to the pan. And I'll wait just a couple minutes before I add in my other ingredients. And I will add my bell peppers and green onion and edamame last, because I want to just kind of gently heat those through. You know, the bell peppers will keep more of their vitamin C if you don't cook them to death. So I have about 2 cups of my grains mix. I'm making enough for both Mr. Tony and I to have dinner tonight. So I have about 2 cups of this, and again, this is just the grains that I meal prepped over the weekend, and it's brown rice, barley, and red quinoa. They all cook at the same time in the same pot, and it makes a fantastic, really nutrient-dense grain mix for grain bowls, stir fries, hot porridge in the morning. So good. It's my favorite combo. Steamy. So these have got some really good color on them now. A little bit of caramelization on those onions, and the mushrooms have released a little bit of their water. And you can see like just how quick and easy this meal comes together. It comes together so quick and so easy, and it's so full of lots of, you know, good healthy veggies. All right, so I'm just going to go in with my grains, and these are already cooked, so they just need to be heated through. This is a little bit much for this pan, but I have done it before, and it's going to work. So I'm just going to go in too with my bell peppers, and again, I'm just wanting to kind of heat these through. And once that's heated through, this will be ready to plate up. I've got myself a nice big bowl here to serve this up. Let me show you what it looks like and give this a taste. All those beautiful, beautiful colors. That makes me so happy. I'm just topping this with a little of my green onion and some finely chopped bell pepper and some cubes of my tofu, which you can see turned crispy around the edges. In the middle, it's nice and soft and juicy, just the perfect texture. Oh, let me give this a taste. Very hot. Mmm. Really yummy. And as always, I truly appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you got any good meal ideas for your busy work week. And if you haven't yet, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.